Well, it's finally happened. I've hit top 500 in Overwatch again, and before any elitist guy runs in here and starts screaming, well, it's the early season, I know it is, but honestly, it's not that bad given my personal circumstances, and it was just a celebration that I wanted to share with the channel because the way I got here and my perspectives on Overwatch have really changed over time, but the one thing that wasn't changing was my perspective on 5v5, and that was the number one reason I took this challenge for myself. If I can even just touch like top 500 again in 5v5, as well as stay competitive a little bit seriously again, will my feelings change on the 5v5 format and all that put together, right? So that's kind of something that I want to talk about. This is also like a little bit of a discussion about 5v5 as a format and the different rules. So I actually didn't mind. A lot of you that have followed the channel will know I didn't mind 5v5 in season 1 and season up until season 8. I thought it was fine. When the season 9 changes came around, that's when the game started to feel a little bit weirder. And then once we got to the Kaiju Watch season in season 11, that's where my love for this game competitively died. And I just couldn't see myself playing the game competitively because I just didn't like the direction that it was going. I personally felt that the game became too much about the Kaiju tanks, and unless you were willing to support your Kaiju tank in taking over the game, it was not going to work out well for you. I personally felt like DPSs couldn't play the hyper aggressive way that they wanted to before that 5v5 did allow, because a lot of people say, well, 5v5 allows you a lot more spacing, it allows you a lot more control over the map. Nowadays, at least I personally feel that you're actually just forced to play a lot more with your tank than away, because if you play away from your tank and you look for some more aggressive plays and you're off angling, the supports are almost always together the higher up you go, and there's so much mobility creep, the enemy tank will find a way to just jump on you, delete you from the game. So those windows are just so much smaller compared to when 5v5 initially came out. And a lot of you that have followed the channel would know that I really liked having more opportunities to play aggressive. And now that in this journey, all the way from plat to top 500, the number one thing that I realized was the biggest mistake I made was I had to realize I can't force that hyper aggressive playstyle. There was definitely games where I could, but I had to realize, okay, I gotta slow down in some areas because I end up dying too much, and I always have the leading deaths on my team, and I had to accept that. Like, and it was actually like destroying my brain. I was tilting at myself for dying so much. So I sat down, I VOD reviewed myself a lot, and I coached myself out of the mentality that, okay, I always need to be the one that runs in and beats that superhero that makes that play. I could do that when I was, in lower elo, when I was in plat and in early diamond, but when I started to enter diamond 3, and this is my biggest criticism of the current Overwatch rank system, when you enter diamond 3, the matches are almost always wide range, and they go all the way up to even sometimes a champion finding their way in our lobby, right? Because there's just not enough players in ranked, and I think that's one of the reasons the lobbies are so wide, right? And not to mention, my primary server that I play on is Middle East, and it's a very toxic server, so I have to use third-party apps sometimes to just avoid the server. And I've been begging for this as a feature from Overwatch, that Overwatch, please add a server selector. So like, I don't mind having longer queues if I know I'll play in Frankfurt or even Japanese servers, or even in Singapore servers, if I don't have to deal with the Middle East all the time. And sometimes those third-party apps work, sometimes they don't. Those of you that know what it is, if you're in EU, you are most likely using it because you know how bad matchmaking quality is in the Middle Eastern servers. And I also do know, because I have friends over there, Australian servers are an absolute mess as well. Their games are literally from gold auto build to Masters 5. That's what I've seen. I've seen some screenshots of my Australian friends in OCE showing me that they are playing with golds all the way till Masters, and it's ridiculous, right? I don't know if this is a problem that can be solved. A lot of people are playing Overwatch competitively less and less. That's something I've noticed. In my final push for top 500, even if it is in Masters 4 and whatever, right? I noticed that a lot of the people that we were playing with it against were pretty much the same people. There were and even then the matches were wide. I was playing with people all the way up in GM, down with us, and in some games we even had champions. And the matchmaking quality was so weird because on one end you have this like Tracer Warlord that's farming your backline, on the other end their Hanzo doesn't know basic positioning and you're farming him, and it just becomes a race of who farms the Hanzo. And if the Tracer farms your backline and your backline knows how to play out of brig, and then you can peel for them in time and then take advantage of the Hanzo and go for the. It's been fun. It's been fun, and like my perspectives on 5v5, they've mostly remained the same. I don't think 5v5 added any strategical depth to the game. The game just feels so much more deathmatchy. It feels so um like, okay, just wait for somebody to make a mistake, take advantage of said mistake. If you blew up the enemy tank, the chances of you winning that game are absurdly high. That's something I noticed, that if you just play for your tank, help the tank win that frontline brawl, it's just easy. Now, of course, you can still look for those like off angles, or flank onto one of the supports, hopefully delete them quickly, and then like come back to your team and win from there. Those are still possible, but at least in my experience, the higher up I've gone, it's become harder and harder because the supports become so much more better at peeling from one another. And with the rise of Sojourn, Sojourn's almost always babysitting her supports, and flanking the backline becomes very difficult. So that's where, if I show you my character, with my career profile over here right now, as you can see, well, I've played mostly Genji. We have Hanzo, Freya, Reaper nearly equally and identical to one another. And I basically played them for different purposes. Reaper, if I really wanted, if the map was much tighter and I felt like, okay, I really want to delete this one tank, I could focus the Reaper. I think Reaper is a bit of a slept on pick. He's actually not that bad. If I just scroll on over here, you can see my Reaper win rate is almost 60%. He's actually a very good character. I don't think he's that bad. His builds are very interesting as well. I think people just sleep on the character a lot. He is, and one of the reasons is also, it's like playing this character in the current day, age, and meta. It's a little bit riskier, right? Especially with Sojourn and Freya, who also offer the same like tank bursting capabilities. But there's just some matches where I feel like, okay, I need Reaper. It's not Freya, it's not Hanzo, it's not Genji, it's Reaper, right? Then over to my Freya and Hanzo. If I just go through like some of my stats here early, I was actually able to maintain 70% win rate on Freya, but it did drop because last night I lost like 6 games. No, I didn't lose 6 games last night. I lost like, it was like a 50-50, but I was losing in between, like one loss, one loss, one loss, one loss. But then this morning I went on a massive win streak. And Freya's been like I said, sometimes I genuinely feel like Freya was a character that was made for me. It's taken the best parts of almost all the projectile DPS characters I like in Overwatch, and they merged it into one. And Freya has been just so fun to play. She's so high skill ceiling. She's so mobile. She's so fun to play. I do think she's a little bit overtuned, and it doesn't have anything to do with her kit, if anything, right? It actually has to do with numbers. But my problem is I'm okay with letting her neutral kit be strong because the character literally does not have an ultimate. I have a Freya guide that's coming up, but goodness, Freya's ult literally 99% of the time will never find value. It's that bad, right? And I will talk about Freya in an upcoming video and a guide. So if you guys are interested for a Freya guide, I got you covered. Moving on over, let me just go back to my career profile real quick. Hanzo. So you guys know I've been advocating for Hanzo Bus for a very long time, and Hanzo I think needs still a lot of help, but I've been able to play him in a lot of lobbies. And one thing I want to mention, in all the games played across all my characters, I've been playing these characters across a lot more games than what is mentioned over here. I don't know if that's because if I look at the average slash 10 minutes, if you hit the 10-minute mark, only then does it count the stats and everything for a match. So that's a little bit disappointing because I actually had a lot of really good win streaks with Hanzo as well. But I guess the game didn't count it because I went him like in the last 2-3 minute marks or something, or whatever. So I don't know how games played works and all of this. So it's a little bit iffy because I've definitely played them for a lot longer than what the game suggests. Then obviously my main Genji, 60%, 61% win rate. Played him in pretty much almost every game I've played. He's very good this season. He's a very strong character. I did all of this solo queue. So no, I did not have any dedicated Ana player. I did not have any dedicated Mercy player. Eevee wasn't with me at all. She's way behind in rank in me. I always have to play with her on another account. So this was purely solo queue. And we were able to push the top 500, now top 400, top 480 actually somewhere. And I'm pretty happy about it. I do juggle between 2 different jobs. So this was very hard to do. Like a lot of like, and to anybody that's actually an adult watching this video will understand how hard it is to not only grind ranked, maintain a good win rate, and all the discipline that comes with it, right? So it's been a difficult journey, but I'm happy that I was able to achieve it. And in my match history, you can see over here the game reports. It's been pretty damn good. This morning, 4 hours, I went for a really big push to see if I could push for that top 500, and it's been pretty good. We were able to achieve it, and it was really enjoyable. I hope to share a lot more tips and tricks in a future video of what I had to do to get to this rank, and hopefully I can help you guys achieve it. As always, I do offer free coaching, but there is a priority to paid coaching over on my Patreon. However, before anything in regards to the Patreon and coaching, I will be reworking it hopefully later today or tomorrow, and I will be like making everything a lot more cheaper as well. So that's just a quick disclaimer on the side. I just wanted to share this with you guys because it's something nice, and I also will be trying to go for a top 500 in 6v6 and Stadium. Actually, I don't even know if Stadium has a top 500, but right now I'm enjoying Stadium more than anything. So the next grind that will most likely be on stream and everything is going to be Stadium. And yes, the Genji build guides are coming. Just give me some time. I just wanted to get this out of the way. My final personal challenge to myself was, to whatever extent can I get top 500 in 5v5? And I was able to achieve it, and I'm very happy about myself. And to those of you out there that are also trying to go for top 500 in support, in tank, in damage, you can do it. I believe in you. I'll drop my tips and tricks on how I went from plat 2 to top 500 in one season. Again, I know it's in like Masters 4 or something, but come on guys, like it is something. Like, let's not be elitist here. It's really like all the matches are wide ranked, wide queued, sorry, wide match range. Hello, it is, guys. It's like 11 a.m. and my brain is cooked from all the grinding I've been doing on ranked, right? And I'm happy that I could get this out of the way. With that being said, though, my final verdict on 5v5 is I still don't like the format. It is still fully reliant on your tank to be somewhat competent so you can actually play the game. And I still think 6v6 needs to make a full comeback. I can tolerate 5v5, I can enjoy it to some extent, I will admit that. However, if I have a preference, it will be 6v6, because I don't like relying too much on the tank player to just like server admin or to be competent enough to do his job so I can play the game. Anytime I play 6v6, I feel like I can actually carry the game, even at the higher levels, where last season I almost did hit top 500 for 6v6, but this season I'm definitely going to push for it. So with that being said, guys, I will be streaming a lot more coaching, educational content coming its way on this channel. So if you want to support the channel, you want to stick around. If you want me to VOD review perhaps your Genji games or just DPS support tank, I do all of that. I will maybe be doing like the next 1 or 2 weeks for free. So if you want me to check out your your games and maybe give you some advice and help you out, I'd be more than happy to do that. But just remember, it'll be during whatever little free time I get in between work and responsibilities and family obligations. So just keep that in mind. With that being said, if you've genuinely watched this far, I really appreciate you. It means a lot. This channel has come a long way. It's not as big as I would want it to be, and I don't really think I wanted to get super big either, because I kind of just do this as a hobby. And the fact that there's so many of you that like just come around and stick around with just like fun community, I really appreciate that, right? So I still love Overwatch. I am basically playing it semi-competitively, semi-casually, and just doing what I can and seeing how far I can go. Thank you so much for watching. With that being said, I will see you in the next video, which should be the 6v6 tier list. So I will see you guys later tonight in that video. So see you there. Make sure you're sticking around after this video, okay? Make sure you're around for that 6v6 tier list.